It is not at all complete the content competency that you have, unlike GS answers for your essay. Okay, in your GS answers, you require more number of points and more number of dimensions, and also the examples and substantiation for each of the points to validate your argument. That is more important with respect to GS answers. But when it comes to essay answer writing, it is not just the content that plays a vital role in awarding marks. It is about your ability to build, interlink the ideas in very logical flow. I mean, the flow should never be disrupted, and it should have an intellectual understanding and coherence, means connectivity with the major theme of the essay. What is the theme here? For example, I am taking one theme. This is a 2022 previous year question, which is given last year only in the UPSC. Here history is a series of victories won by a scientific man over the romantic man. See, irrespective of any topic, this is a topic. Previously also, there were few history related questions. They haven't asked directly, but indirectly, a little bit of philosophical in nature, it was asked. That is, past is the permanent dimension for human consciousness. That was also mostly related to history aspect, because you have to understand the past elements in chronological order. So, history here they are asking not just content that here's historical chronological events, but your ability to analyze various things and apply your basic understanding, I mean knowledge, in very logical, substantiated manner. Here, irrespective of any essay, you should be able to build your own ideas. That means your originality. That is the first point which is given in the notification. In notification, they have mentioned few important points. That is, original. Original means exact, and second, very, very concise in nature. Should be concise. That is called your cohesive ability, cohesive construction. So, your original expression and your concise writing skill, these two can help you to build your own content, and at the same time to have your own understanding of the essay. Okay, first point, first step of the essay, for any essay, whatever you take, the step one should be to decode the essay. The terms should be decoded. First point. Coming to this part, for example, history is a series of victories. What is meant by victory in history? Is it a war? What is your understanding? You should do brainstorming. You must do brainstorming, my dear friends. You must do it. What is meant by victory in history? Is it a war? Is it becoming victorious about other person? No. Is it a war? What is meant by victory here? What is meant by victory? It is not at all war. It is not Alexander's invasion. Okay. It is not at all an invasion of Ghazni and Gori. It is not talking about victory over others. Okay. This is so you should have a complete conceptual clarity about each of the terms given in the essay. That is a fundamental principle. If you misunderstand the basic concept, if you have any kind of preconceived misunderstanding notion about any of the terms given in the essay, entire essay theme will be deviated. Core essence is theme. The major core demand is theme here. So, what is meant by series of victories in the history? What is meant by series of victories in the history? It is not at all war of Alexander or invasion, okay, or anybody, or Khilji or Lodi or something else. It is about various incidents that had made human civilization to attain certain level of progress. It is progress of human civilization. that is witnessed throughout the history. That is what? Actual victory in the history. Right? What is actually, historically, if you evaluate anything historically, what does it mean? It is evolution of society. Yes, civilizational evolution. Okay? That is your broader conceptual understanding. That is more important. And second term that you have to decode in the essay, but you should never explicitly mention each of the terms while writing the original essay. It should be very implicit in nature, but your conceptual clarity should be presented in the introduction itself. Okay? Coming to this part, and second term in the given essay is scientific man. What does it mean? Scientific man versus romantic man. Okay, having Samaja Vargamana sang and Pushpa song, these all are romantic songs, right? A scientific man means Robo 2, likewise, right? So, basically, scientific, what does it mean? Scientific man versus romantic man. See, in romanticism, you have two areas of evolution in human society in the history, in the 18th century. But one is the scientific temperament that is emerged out of industrial revolution, and second, out of vice versa also. And second aspect is the romanticist theory, romanticist poets and philosophers, okay, who had certain emotional appeal and imagined and showed power of imagination through their writings. Okay, and human sensualities and artistic and aesthetic approach which they had shown in their writings and their expression and their words, this is called romanticism. So this is about human feelings, emotions. Okay, this is a strong desire, a passion, a motive. This is romantic man. Okay, this is about romantic man. And coming to this scientific man, he's very rational, logical, and he has a lot of temperament in understanding things, extremely objective in nature. Okay, this is about scientific man, and mostly it focuses on the progress witnessed in the scientific aspects of human civilization, right? So, which is contributing more to the civilization of human society. That means the progress that is witnessed in the human civilization either through scientific man or romantic man. Okay, through literature, arts, sculpture, architecture, okay, or through technological advancement and intervention of new innovative ideas in the science field. Either. So, which one is contributing more for the progress of human civilization? That is the debate happening between scientific man and also the romantic man. So, it is simply a debate between scientific man's contribution to human civilization and next romantic man's contribution to human civilization. Are you getting actual conceptual understanding of the question? So this is called brainstorming, which you have to do first 10 minutes of the essay. Are you getting? First 10 minutes of the essay, before starting it, before directly starting and writing essay, what should you do? What is the step one that you must do? Yeah, understanding each and every term of the question and implying it, applying it, and implicitly mentioning it in the introduction itself is more important. Should I write what is meant by scientific man? What is meant by romantic man? And what is meant by history is a series of victories? Should I write like that in the original essay? No. So, what should be our orientation in the original essay? It is our decoding of the actual theme of the essay. Now, you have understood what is theme. What is meant by theme? The core fundamental essence of the question. That is the theme. Next, coming to this part, that is introduction part, how you should mention implicitly. In the introduction, you can have a case study, a narration, an anecdote, a fictional story, a narration or direct understanding of the question. Suppose if the question is about future possibilities of any new technology, therefore you can take a fictional story. Okay? Suppose regarding artificial intelligence and Internet of Things, robotics, nanotechnology, stem cell technology, like biotechnology related concepts. So you can assume certain things and you can mention them as a fictional story in the introduction part, and later you can come to this major theme of the thesis statement of the essay. So this is implicitly addressing the introduction part in whatever form it is, either in the form of quote or fictional anecdote or any case study or testimony or direct narration of concepts involved in the essay, whatever it is in the form, that should mention implicitly the core essence of the essay, that you have understood what is meant by it. Okay? First point. Second aspect is, first point. Next, second aspect is your thesis statement. What is meant by thesis statement? After introduction, should I write any PhD thesis here? No. So simply the future prospects of this essay. So what I have understood, what is going to be depicted and shown here, and what would be my orientation in this essay till the conclusion part. This is the line of thought that you are providing for the examiner, in which you are going to narrate entire essay. Right? So if you have given a clear index of your book, is it easy for reader to navigate through the index page? Yes. So simply thesis statement is index of your book, that is your essay. I am unable to. Okay. I think, is it the problem of all the students? Because you are unable to hear my voice. Please check your mic once, because from our side everything is clear. Fine. And coming to this. So what is meant by thesis statement? It is the future prospects that you are going to present in your essay. It is simply an index page of book. So if you mention the line of thought here in the thesis statement, therefore examiner will be directed on those lines, and you will not be having any kind of deviation from the major line that you had provided, which is according to the theme of the essay. Okay? So the theme will never be deviated, because you have given the exact line of thought in the thesis statement. On those lines only you will be presenting the essay. Okay? Here, a hypothetical introduction. You may not be considering this is an introduction, you can have your own introduction, but that introduction should mention the conceptual understanding of each of the terms given in the essay, which is a core essence of the essay. That is thematic essay, right? So, what is asked here? Yes, good, thank you, audio is fine. What is actually asked here? What is here? Scientific man versus romantic man. So, you should know the difference between these two people and how their actual contribution to human progress in terms of civilization. So, history, this is a hypothetical introduction. History has witnessed profound influence of both the scientific and romantic minds. History had profound influence, scientific and romantic, in the form of progress of human civilization, and at the same time, you are implicitly mentioning certain things, that is, romantic man has contributed significantly to the arts in the sphere of arts, literature, emotions, and at the same time, the scientific man has undeniably achieved remarkable victories in advancing knowledge and transforming societies. So, what does it mean automatically? What I have mentioned here? Here, scientific man who contributed to the human civilization in advancing knowledge and transforming societies. With respect to romantic man, yes, in the realms of arts, literature and emotions, he contributed, our romantic man contributed to the progress of human civilization. They had a profound influence. Already we have mentioned in the introduction itself, right?
So can we keep citing things like the romanticism of...
No, actually I have, that is, yeah.
Aesthetic devotional
that should be implicit in nature. You should never mention explicitly in the introduction part. Because decoding essay is your conceptual understanding, right? Your actual understanding of the essay. So that decode should never be mentioned there. This is what romantic man is. This is what scientific man. Okay? You should never mention like that. You should have an implicit understanding which should be implied in the introduction part. Okay? So here the examiner gets to know that this guy has understood what is meant by victory in the history. That means the series of victories in the history. It is not about war game, first point. And it is about civilizational aspect that we are going to discuss. And second aspect, it is a conceptual debate between the romantic man and the scientific man. It's simply arts versus science. Okay? Which is contributing more to the civilization of human society. Arts versus science. So, they have simply twisted this statement into a complex one. So, if I ask you directly, which is actually helpful for the society, arts or arts, humanities, or sciences? It is a direct question. So, directly you will have certain debating points. So, you can take those debating points on these lines. This essay, actually, this is I have told you that this is thesis statement. This statement should provide you the future prospects. That means the orientation that you are going to have, the line of thought that you are going to present, and without any deviation also, step-by-step process, you are mentioning what you are going to present in the future essay part. And also, don't forget to mention the transition words in between these compartments of the essay. The transition words, these are very important. However, eventually, likewise, similarly, right? These are very important because this is not a GS paper. This should have a flow of presentation and expression which should never disturb or deviate and distract the examiner from your own line of thought that you had presented. Okay, from introduction to conclusion. So this is transition from one part to another part of the essay, and thesis statement is giving you what is going to be presented here, because you are not going to give an extra weightage to any of the aspects of this scientific man versus romantic man. Suppose if I completely support scientific man, which contributed to the human civilization, progress of civilization, is it really worthwhile for awarding good marks? No, it is definitely not. And at the same time, if I give more priority to romantic man, or completely a humanities oriented approach, it is not worthwhile to get more marks, because it should be balanced. Definitely it should be balanced. Even examiner is also expecting that. So how will you balance that? So each of these contributions should be mentioned properly. So the counter perspectives have to be carefully balanced with proper suitable examples. And next thing, here the essay, here also apart from thesis statement, you are also mentioning your conceptual understanding of each of the terms that you had already decoded here. The term here is simple. Scientific man who had a scientific advancement and innovation and creativity in the field of science, and romantic man who has a knowledge about arts, literature, and contributed to the civilization of human society. And history is series of victories, simply. So series of victories means progress that is witnessed in the human society. So this essay is going to explore this dynamic coexistence between the science and the romanticism. Okay? Science and romanticism. Now, you can take many dimensions. Suppose, what is meant by romanticism? Just now I have told you that this is an emotional appeal in the form of arts and literature. So, which is actually a term mostly uttered in the 18th century. From Keats, Shelley, Wordsworth, they are romanticist they are the poets from romanticism. Yeah. Yeah, aesthetic devotional bhakti, it has culmination of romanticist poetry, has culmination of conventional aesthetic approach, and also the neoclassicism, right? In the classic literature, you will have, like you have mentioned, the epics and stories, narrations, and anecdotes inspired from those epics. This is part of classic literature. So in the romanticist poetry, in the romanticist literature, you will have neoclassicism. That is, you will have your nostalgic aspects. You can completely immerse with the nature. You will have your own imagination. It is a new aesthetic approach which you can see in the non-noble families. Okay, in the classic literature, you will be having literature based on the noble families mostly. Okay, here not only the noble families. In for example, daily wage labor may also expose romanticism in his way of life, in general way of life. A little bit of folklore is involved in this neoclassicism. Okay, the beauty lies in the folklore is also witnessed in this neoclassic literature, right? That is actually witnessed in this romanticist poetry. So people having this romanticist approach may have contributed something to the progress of human civilization, and at the same time the scientific inventions that you had witnessed in the modern society, okay, in the industrial revolution part. So here this is a coexistence between the science and the romanticism that highlights the interdependence between these two aspects of human society. So through various examples you are going to depict what you had actually understood. So at the same time together these contrasting, mutually contrasting but complementary in nature. These are mutually contrasting. One is absolutely objective, one is subjective. Okay, one is measured, one is not measured. One is limited, one has certain boundaries, that is science. It has no limitations, no boundaries. Okay, so this is quite contrasting in nature, but mutually complementary forces for the civilization of human society, right? So this is about understanding of essay. So this is just an orientation. You cannot get this kind of essay because it was already asked in 2022. And previously they have asked similar kind of question in 2021 regarding history, and also as I have said regarding past is permanent dimension. So what will be, I have given one more essay, that is history is not just chronicle but an evolution of life. This is one essay that I had given you in the Nitya Sadhana part when I have conducted for group 1 test series. Okay, so likewise you will be having various types of questions, but the theme is it is not completely a static component but an interlinked with conceptual philosophical aspect of the static component. So you should be able to understand actual theme of the essay, then decode it and mention it in the introduction part itself, and finally build a proper thesis statement and give a line of thought in the introduction part and the thesis statement itself, and finally go according to the line of thought that you had given in the thesis statement itself, right? This is what actually history is regarding civilization. So coming to each and every dimension, every aspect of human civilization, dimensions coming, this make sure that each dimension should have a simple connecting statement to build transition between different ideas. Just I have told you, eventually, likewise, similarly, however. So you should build that transition between these two elements. Yeah, you have to mention, because unlike GS answers, it should have a transition word and it should never disturb any kind of flow of presentation that examiner expects you. Okay, so yes. No, actually in general essay, in the initial part itself, I had told you that in the general essay, rather than seeing your content, they'll check your ability to build coherence and ability to build a cohesive sentence. Okay, coherence is connecting your ideas. Cohesive is depicting your idea in a very lucid manner by using your profound language competency. Okay, so you may be having multiple ideas regarding this concept, but how will you connect these ideas? That is your ability to build coherence. Second part, you have multiple ideas and each idea should be given with valid suitable example or testimony or case study, and at the same time in a very concise writing, right? Rather than elaborating one idea in more number of words, because examiner expects more number of dimensions also. At the same time, equal weightage should be given for counter arguments, counterpoints, because if I completely give more weightage to this scientific man who contributed to the progress of human civilization, what about the romantic man? So you should have an interlinking approach. Simultaneously, you can do that. It will be very good for you and the examiner too. It is easy for them to understand. According to the given essay, you have to decide how you should articulate your essay. For that, you have to do at least 10 minutes of brainstorming to decode each of the terms given in the essay first part. That is, what is meant by victories in the history, and what is scientific man, what is romantic man. Therefore, if you understand the concept, then build an introduction and thesis statement. When you have built thesis statement, 70% of the essay is over. Only thing that you need to have is the ideas that you have must be presented here in a very cohesive sentence. Okay? So next point, this is about dimension that I am giving you. Enlightenment and the Romanticism. Here I have already mentioned that the Enlightenment part in the 18th century and the Rousseau, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, right? And human champions of human rights. And at the same time, Romanticist poetry, Shelley, Keats, Wordsworth, okay? Who contributed to the neoclassic literature and new ideas, okay? So, even in real life also, just take an example from Telangana movement. Okay, there is a scientific assessment, Nilu, Nidulu, Niyamakalu, one side. And at the same time, there is a folklore which emerged out of this movement to give that kind of impetus. Okay, I mean the stimulation, the literature which stimulates the human instincts and the emotional appeal. Okay, the arts, the contribution of arts. So both have contributed to the evolution of the civilization of this society. Okay. So likewise, you have to analyze by taking various examples. That means the progress witnessed in various dimensions. The technological progress and artistic expression. Both have contributed to the human civilization. You have to give various examples, not only these examples given here. You can take any of the examples. Okay. So, these are the dimensions. Similarly, if I ask you one more question, just this is said by me, history is not just chronicle, but an evolution of life. How will you justify it? I have given you model essay. I am going to upload it in our Telegram channel. You can see that, no problem. So, this is a model essay. Based on this model essay, how will you answer one more essay that I am going to ask you? That is, history is not just a chronicle, but an evolution of life. How will you justify it? What is your understanding? First, what is the first step here? History is not just chronicle, but an evolution of life. What is the first step that you have to brainstorm yourself before starting writing essay? History is not just chronicle. What is meant by chronicle? Yeah. Chronology is continuation. I'm not asking about chronology. Chronicle. Okay. So it is documentation of facts. This is chronicle. Isn't it? History is not just chronicle. Is it mere documentation of facts or events happen in the history? History is not just chronicle. But an evolution of life means? It is simply, again, the progress in the human civilization that you had witnessed. It is only the theme that the question which we set is actually inspired from the themes in the previous years only. Simple. So, evolution of life means what? Human civilization only, right? Okay. History is not just chronicle. Even evolution in environment, it is also history. Okay? Environmental history. So, dimensions that you have to take again. So, in human social history, political history, academic history, okay, it is not merely the trends and patterns of growth prospects in the country, for any country. It is about the colonization and decolonization and redrawal of national boundaries had actually led to the evolution of human society, and which had a profound influence and impact on revenues of those respective colonies. And therefore, you have to interlink these ideas. It is not evolution. And social fact and social evolution. In society, certain things happened, something else. And social evils also took place. So, it is not merely documenting those facts. What is the actual element that you are witnessing here? Based on that, you have certain analytical perspective, intellectual quotient, and you are civilizing yourself to eradicate all the social evils. This is evolution of human intellect in the social life, social sphere of life, right? And similarly, economic life, similarly, political life. So, initially you had monarchies, next feudal societies, and finally democracy, something else. Okay, colonization, imperialism, finally this is democracy, and finally after decolonization people realized to have a democracy, and still in democracy after evolution only, and it is being evolved. So history in politics also, it is not merely documentation of facts, okay, or events, incidents. It is showing the evolution that has been taking place, and the evolution is bringing certain change in the society. Whenever you are taking a term that is evolution, it is a change in the entire orientation and structure of that polity, right? This is evolution. So similarly, if I ask you one more question, something else. Past is the permanent dimension for human consciousness. It is 2018 question, UPSC. Past is the permanent dimension for human consciousness. How will you analyze and answer this question? What is the term that you need to decode initially before start writing this essay?
Mistakes that have happened in past.
Past is the permanent dimension for human consciousness. Okay? Yeah. It is not only the mistakes, but also the progress that you had, a testimony that helped you to civilize more than that of the earlier stage of life. Right? So, you have to take multiple dimensions again. So, example, social life, you had certain past. That past has permanent dimension till, and will be having that dimension forever. Permanent dimension means what? Eternal means. So, past is a permanent dimension. What in social sphere of life? How will you justify this past is permanent dimension for human life? Past means past is permanent dimension. A social life. You had very good. That's it. Yes, yes, exactly. In social life, you had social stratification. Okay, initially, even you can take entire historical aspects, that is early Vedic period and later Vedic period, the status of women and social stratification and Varna system, and also the casteism and communalism, all these areas. Finally, you have built a society without discrimination, which is civilized in nature, and you are witnessing that is a permanent dimension. Therefore, you are integrating them as part of your lawful life and civilized life, constitutional law, right? So, whenever you take any dimension, that should have a logical justification. Now you are getting complete clarity. Is it about only the content? No. It is about your thinking ability, your ability to build coherence. That means connectivity of ideas. So, how well you can articulate your ideas and connect them, and how well you present them, that is more important, right? So, you will be able to answer any kind of essay now if you can do at least 10 minutes of brainstorming and decode each of the terms and build certain dimensions and ideas, and you have a language competency to justify those ideas with suitable examples, and instead of elaborating with more number of words, if you are able to write with concise words and also this keywords jargon that you can use properly, you will get more number of marks, right? This is what the essay orientation is. I think this would have helped you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Is it clear what is asked? Okay. Now, so I have given you 2 essays to do some kind of brainstorming based on this history element only. Tomorrow I will be coming up with political aspect, or some completely philosophical in nature. Okay. So, would you please try to write one essay on, just close your eyes and try to imagine something and tell me what you have imagined. Okay. What is actually the picture that is running in your mind now when you close your eyes? What is actually visible to you? Okay? Manonetra, I am asking. Suppose if you have closed your eyes, you are imagining something. Just tell me what you have imagined. Please. Just fraction of seconds, 2 or 3 seconds, close your eyes. Imagine something. Just whatever it is, any bullshit, please tell me directly. What have you imagined? Timapa, right? Timaya? Timaya, right? Yeah. What have you imagined? Okay. Regarding essay, right? Try to write an essay on essay. What you have imagined? Administration. Try to write an essay on administration. Is it possible? It is definitely possible. Absolutely it is possible. Suppose you are having book in your hand. Is it possible to write an essay on book? Yes. Tell me, how will you write an essay of 1200 words? Okay? An UPSC essay, how will you write? Simply. So, take dimension history. In the history earlier stage, you had to write on beach barks. Before that, you did not have, you have fresco paintings, and Bhimbetka caves are examples. Some hunting, likewise, and later in the after Maurya period, you witness these fresco paintings. People depict their ideas in those forms. And coming to this modern era, after beach barks only, ancient part, and in the medieval and modern times, this transition period, you have the John Gutenberg, who invented this printing press, and he also printed all these biblical information. Right? Isn't it? Later you have a paper which was actually found by China thousands of years ago, and later it came into existence. An entire world has been now publishing books. Okay? Writing books and publishing, even authors also. Something like that. And finally, this is actually the story. And now, this neo-modern world is transforming book into notepad, notebook, okay, your laptops, something. Yeah. Transition. Modern. Will you be able to write now? Actually, yeah. Next, evolution of life. Fine. Book. I'm writing essay. And what does book contribute to society? It revolutionized society. It created certain negative and positive impacts. It created divisions also. It imbibed certain values of human rights. Okay, your constitutional, every constitution is also having a fundamental law of the land. That is a book. So simply I am talking about book, right? Now, will you be able to write anything on pen, bike, car, bench? Yes. Imagination, your best presentation. And imagine not only the imaginating ideas, but also linking them with the theme of the essay. Every idea that you get, you are linking with the book. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So the content that you have presented is totally unique to other person. It is not at all comparable. But with respect to GS, if I ask you the police reforms mentioned in second ARC, all the points that you have written are mostly same. Yeah. General essay is about your skill, completely your imaginating ability, especially when it comes to this conceptual and philosophical orientation of the essays. Right? Now, does this general essay require any kind of preparation? This is a gift given to you if you are able to write properly. If you can practice only the language that you develop, that is most important, nothing else. Your GS knowledge is more than enough. Without GS knowledge also, you will get 60% scores. If you can observe my scorecards, you will see always 60% scores in essay papers. 60%. Only thing, without any preparation, if you have a very articulated narrating ability, a good articulating and narrating ability, you will be able to get good scores. This is essay. Now you are more confident about content. Now I don't need to study anything for essay. Because why do you feel confident? Because I don't need to prepare first. Because, but what you should prepare? Your thinking and imagining ability, and how should you articulate it. Therefore, that articulation can be developed only by practicing 30 plus essays. These 10 days, 20 essays sufficient for you, almost, if you can practice these essays. I am posting you this essay now, okay, in a Telegram channel. And now KP sir will come and take the session. Take a breath, long breath for next 10 minutes. All the best. Thank you.